What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. It's been a few years since I've done the video on this 595 talking about the best 5 mods you should have on an Abarth. Since then, I've had a lot more modifications on my car personally, and I've talked to a lot more people with modifications. So I'm going to give you an updated 5 top modifications on an Abarth 595. So I actually shot that intro for the video and then realized that there's 2 segments to this that I didn't do in the last video. Firstly, there's mechanical upgrades that you can do to your 595, and then secondly, there's cosmetic upgrades that you can do to your 595. So I'm going to break this video into 2 parts, and let's start with mechanical. Coming in at number 1 is a very popular modification on the engine in these Abarth 595s, and that is an induction kit. Now, which induction kit you use is down to your taste and what you want. If you're a fan of the channel, you will know that I had a Forge induction kit for a little while and then swapped it out within the last year or so for an AirTech induction kit. The reason I've gone for the AirTech induction kit because I don't want that cabin noise. The Hoover, well, I've talked about it in another video. Loads of people said they like it. Some people say they don't like it, but with this Garrett turbo, with this setup, and with that scuttle panel, it wasn't my daily choice. The AirTech intercooler is my choice, and that comes in at the first modification I would do. Whole reason for this, if you are new to the channel and just watching this video, this essentially takes colder air from the back of the engine bay and wider pipes through to the turbo, giving you better air induction. The standard one's quite restrictive. It only has a very small pipe and it points right next to the turbo, which gets very, very hot. Coming in at number 2, going back to another video, it would be the AirTech intercooler on the front here, a big, large front mount. Essentially, these cars come with 2 little intercoolers that feed all the hose pipes, but the 2 radiators kind of sit left and right of the panel, whereas this is a large front mount, giving a lot more area to direct cooler air into the engine, again, helping the airflow. This is a little 1.4 turbocharged engine, so anything you can do to improve airflow is gonna increase your power, which means coming in at number 3, I might as well just go straight into it. It's in the ECU, but it is a remap. Remapping this car with these 2 modifications completely changes the feel and the vibe of the car. When you are accelerating in this, when it's had a remap and it's got the new air intake, it is a different vehicle, especially with that intercooler. On a day like this where it's nice and sunny, the intercooler means that you still get a good, consistent level of power compared to when you have the stock ones and it feels like an asthmatic trying to run. Coming in at number 4 is, of course, an exhaust upgrade. This is a competizione, which means it does come with the Monza exhaust, which, don't get me wrong, sounds incredible. I've said it on many videos before, but if you're new to the channel, my biggest gripe with it is the fact that it's a vacuum valve exhaust, which means in first gear, it's on. As soon as you pull away, the valve closes. In second gear, it's closed into about 4,000 RPM before it then opens. Then third gear, it's open. Fourth gear, fifth gear, that's fine. But if I'm just doing a little blip in second gear, I want to keep it open all the time. Either have it on or have it off. This whole opening closing thing, I'm not a fan of it. So what I did is I went for an exhaust change, and it's a rear box delete. It sounds beautiful. It sounds like this. And it turns a lot of heads, which, I mean, that's not the thing that I really care about. The thing I care about is the smile I get on a day like this when I'm driving around, and the noise, it's just so fun. It makes you feel like you're in the fastest car in the world, and it's so brilliant. An exhaust upgrade on one of these things is perfect. I do recommend getting a Magneti Marelli Bombardone if you want the same kind of tone. This, we're not sure. We think it's a Dorenza, but essentially, as you can see in one of our last videos, Kaylee has a Magneti Marelli Bombardone exhaust, and in the cabin it's actually a lot quieter than this exhaust, but outside it gives you all the noise that you want. Also, when you put the windows down, it's just as loud as this thing, and it definitely turns heads, makes you feel like you're in a supercar. So that is number 4. Moving on to number 5, last but not least, upgraded brakes. Now obviously a competizione comes with 305 Brembos, and they are brilliant. The 4-pot calipers gives you a lot more stability in braking, especially going into those roundabouts. Now, these ones though are 330 Brembos, and they've come straight off an Alfa Romeo. So if you can see, the discs are bigger, the calipers are bigger, you have so much more width when it comes to the braking, and trust me, this thing stops a lot quicker than I thought it would. I'm actually going to do a separate video on this because I thought 305 to 330s, Ant was telling me that we need to change the brakes, we need to put on these bigger brakes. I thought it's not really going to make a difference. The car is super light. 4-pot calipers on a car like this is mad anyway. These things, unbelievable. You can outbrake everything on the road, even supercars. It's ridiculous. I don't recommend you try doing that, but I just know that you can. And like I said, I think I'll do another video about that. So those are the top 5 upgrades I would do on an Abarth 595. Those are the mechanical ones. Let's just call them performance rather than mechanicals. Everything, you know, some other cosmetic features are mechanical, but performance-wise, induction kit, intercooler, remap, bigger brakes so you can stop a lot safer, and also then the exhaust upgrade on the back gives you a completely new feeling car. These things, I absolutely love them. If this sounds like something you'd love to do to your car, drop us a DM. We'd absolutely love to see you. If you need any advice, drop us an email, info@ar-autos.co.uk. Plenty more content to come. But before I sign off, make sure you like, comment and subscribe.